James Naismith was a Canadian who became a Canadian American, and actually he was a guy who helped do a lot with the YMCA, the Young Men's Christian Association. He then went on to the University of Kansas where he was a chaplain. He also was a Presbyterian minister. World War I breaks out and he's a chaplain during World War I. So this is a really religious guy who, oh yeah, also invented a pretty popular game, basketball. Although the game he invented, not really the game that's played today. The game he invented was for young boys at the YMCA, and he thought, you know, we need to come up with a game where they can use their energy, because otherwise these rambunctious boys at wintertime with nothing to do, they're gonna get into trouble. So how can we use up their energy? He says, well, let's hang some peach baskets from the rafters. We'll give them a ball, and so he makes up these rules. And so they played this game of basketball, and whenever one team would score, they'd have to call a timeout. The janitor comes out with this ladder, he raises up to the rafters, they climb up so they can pull the ball out. Oh yeah, because they didn't cut a hole in the bottom of the basket, it was a literal basket. So when you scored, the ball went in the basket and stayed in the basket until you got the ladder out, climbed up the ladder, pull the ball out, now we're gonna start and let's play again. So it was a little while before they kind of changed and evolved the game to much more of what we know today. But James Naismith is the guy that did that. Now, the reason we bring him up is I mentioned he was a chaplain during World War I. He also was a chaplain at the University of Kansas. We have here Chaplain Naismith's sewing kit from World War I, along with his chaplain's insignia that he had and he wore during World War I. And this is a letter we have from James Naismith when he was involved with the YMCA, when he's at the University of Kansas, and he's explaining some details of what he's needing in his life. Now, the reason we even bring this up is certainly we know James Naismith because of basketball and the great game that it is, but very few people know the reason we have the game of basketball is because a minister, a chaplain, said, you know, we need something for Christian boys to do to use up their energy to keep themselves out of trouble. Well, what better than the game of basketball?